Yo, what's cracking, my niggas? Alright. Thought I'd do another little health video while I'm sitting here, nothing better to do. Alright, so am I a dickhead to give a few credentials? I don't think so, otherwise why else would you listen to me? So, quick credential list. Qualified personal trainer, but I feel I learnt way more becoming an athlete. Third fastest rower in Australia, and the time I got was faster than what's his name, Rich, it escapes me now, but he's the fastest, he's the world's most fittest man in CrossFit. And I've done bodybuilding, came first place in Queensland, and it's just a health target thing. I aimed for, I thought, well, if I was overall healthy, like running, swimming, push-ups, sit-ups, chin-ups, so I looked at the Navy SEAL entry requirements, and I first set it as a goal. Well, you know, I haven't actually joined the Navy SEALs, but I thought, could I, if I tried, could I meet their athletic requirement? And I first did meet the requirement, and then I bloody reached the high competitive standards for all the lifts, so the running, swimming, etc, etc. Anyway, I guess it doesn't really matter how much my credentials are. You're either going to listen to my advice or not, so let's get to it. I'm looking more into medical stuff now, so it's still going to help you lose weight, get fit and healthy, all that great stuff, reduce inflammation, feel fresh, etc, etc. But this is more now focused on cardiovascular disease, which we should all be concerned about, because most of us, you don't find out about it until it's too late, until the doctor says, you know, you're really suffering, maybe you got heart palpitations, you have a stroke, you have a heart attack, and then you go to the doctor and you go, what's wrong with me? And he says, you've got atherosclerosis. What the hell is atherosclerosis? That is the build-up of plaque in the arteries, okay? And that is like the fundamental problem with like so many like illnesses, and we all have it just the same as we got plaque on our teeth, right? Or maybe some of us do. So fortunately we have figured out how to get rid of plaque on our teeth, and we haven't really quite figured out, by the looks of things, how to get rid of it out of our arteries. But we can certainly go a long way to prevent the start of it and the continual build up of it. That's for sure. Okay, cool. So how do we do that? Loads of vegetables. Man, 99%, 99.45% of Australians don't eat enough vegetables. That is crazy, man. According to the government guidelines. So just to be a real asshole. Now you can't really, I think you've got to be careful pointing the finger, getting angry at the government about things now, because according to their guidelines, they tell you, hey, you should eat this many vegetables, like however many portions or cups or handfuls, or however you want to explain it. And 99% of, whether it's men or women, 99.7% I think it is for one of the men or women, don't eat enough vegetables, don't meet the government requirement, government recommendations. So man, that's pretty bad. And I don't want to sound too much like beating on the government, but in the past, I'm sometimes skeptical, and I think they don't recommend enough. You know, they don't recommend enough good things, you know. So, you know, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Right? They are still highly scrutinized by we, the public, the scientific community. But anyway, I'm just further illustrating the point that maybe, one, we're 99% not only eating enough vegetables, but according to their guidelines, but to be really optimally healthy, maybe we're even further away from the targets. Okay? So anyway, I thought I'd share with you today one of the simplest, easiest ways to get like a super healthy diet and save time, save money, less stress. Eat Subway, mate. Hard to beat, I say. Like, it's packed with vegetables, right? It's majority vegetables, a vast array to get all, by having a colourful amount of vegetables, we're having different vegetables, so we are getting all our minerals, vitamins and other things as well, phytonutrients and phenols, pylophos, lycopenes, antioxidants. Well, it'd be good if we could have an option to buy some berries which are packed of antioxidants, like blueberries, and healthy fats. Would be good if they had an option to buy nuts. But this sounds a little crazy, but at least macadamia, they have like macadamia nut biscuits, and a healthy diet does still allow from time to time a healthy, a sweet treat, and then you're getting healthy fats. Doesn't sound the most healthiest advice, but I guess, yeah, anyway, look, you're not going to get the optimal diet, of course, eating any takeaway, because you're not making it yourself, all right? And of course, some of the meats are processed, but the one I got today anyway was chicken, and I think it's genuine chicken. It's not like a processed chicken nugget or whatever. Look at that. It's like real, like oven baked, I assume, and then chopped up, the chicken strips. It's real chicken. Seems like real chicken. Let's hope it's real chicken, eh? So don't quote me on this. At least I didn't have to go to the shops, buy it, then cook it, right? Then clean up, right? That's a lot of time right there, a lot of effort. Which maybe if I balance my time better, is still overall a good thing. Take time out from whatever you're doing to prepare a meal. But hey, while we're dealing with other things, let's eat Subway. We've got loads of vegetables, and we got loads of grains, as in the bread. Now, far out, 90% of the literature in the last, what, 20, 30 years has been all about, if you ask any person into health, they'd say no to bread. One of the reasons why I got stuck on no for bread is I watched a friggin' like documentary that's real convincing. I forget which one. It was like back in the day with Super Size Me and all these cool documentaries like Food Inc. and there's a whole bunch of them came out. Just Juice Me or the Juice Diet or something like that. That's a pretty interesting one. And they had a part in there where they said with the bread, it's like a genetically modified crop, right? That was back in like the mid-90s, I think. It came out with this documentary. Monsanto was accused of creating a genetically modified crop. Anyway, from the research I've done now, I've been believing that for the past 20 odd years. It's not true. We do have regular wheat, I hope, from what I understand, from the research I've done now. But I think there's other things wrong with the bread, such as starch. But I think if you're really looking into the science, it's more about it like spiking the insulin, which creates all these domino effects that are not good for you, leading to diabetes and stuff. But I question that now that I've looked into it further, if you have whole grain, like whole wheat, but preferably whole grain, if you want to know the difference, like whole grain is where it's just the grain turned into bread, right? But keeping the whole grain. But whole wheat is where you take those grains and crush them all up and turn them into wheat. So it's still pretty healthy because it's you're not removing the bran and making it like refined white flour. It's still brown whole wheat flour, right? But maybe it would be better if it was the complete whole grain rather than crushed up and refined. Because, you know, the more refined it is, the more easily I think it converts to glucose and sugar, and therefore spikes your insulin. And people with diabetes will probably understand that more than me, living with the condition, how much it affects your sugar levels and causes all sorts of problems. But I think overall, if you have whole wheat like brown bread or multigrain, because you're getting all those seeds, or rye bread, you know, it's filling, tastes good, and it's still important to get some kind of carbohydrates and all that. Okay, look, if you really want to know, maybe oats is way better and brown rice is way better. But hey, for convenience, it holds the salad together. It allows me to enjoy it more because I'm biting into the sandwich. And so I'm getting those vegetables, which is the #1 priority. But as a sandwich, it makes it way more enjoyable to eat. All right. So it's friggin' overall, it's bloody fantastic, I reckon. It's also great how you can monitor the overall calories that you're getting. So anyway, I don't actually know, but I think it's about 1,000 calories for a foot-long Subway. I have no friggin' idea, but that's just what I'm guessing based upon my experience. And while I'm here on the internet, why don't we just quickly find out calories in a foot-long. Let's go with just a chicken. Now, this might sound unscientific. Oh, there we go. Is that right? It says here, in a foot-long oven roasted chicken breast with cheese, it's 640 calories. Man, that is so low. That's way lower than I thought. Man, that's low. I'm not sure if that's even right. Okay, well, maybe there's some homework for both of us. Because that looks exciting if that's really true. It looks fantastic. How many calories are in it? In a 12 Subway sandwich. Let's double check. 620 again, it says. So here's another one saying 620 in a 12-inch Subway Club. Shivers. How many calories are in a foot-long chicken tikka Subway? 580. A foot-long. 580. Sheesh. Man, that's crazy good, hey? I was just guesstimating 1,000 calories. Look, that's crazy, man. 580, 620, 640, thereabouts in calories. That's super low, man. Most guys, you know, I'm a big guy with more muscle mass than normally I can get away with. Anyway, whatever. Look, most guys could eat 2,000 calories a day as a limit, and just with a little bit of exercise each day, like a half an hour gentle jog or a 1 hour walk, you'd consistently lose weight, a decent amount of weight. Probably looking at, you know, it fluctuates. 1 week you might lose 2 kilos. If you're really committed to it, next week 1 kilo. But you should be able to consistently lose about 1 kilo each week, having 2,000 calories and a tiny bit of, well, whatever, a half an hour to an hour or so exercise each day. So, and a bit less for women, so about 1.5 1,000 because they're a little bit shorter and they've got less muscle mass, so metabolism isn't as high. So about, let's say, 1,500 calories per day is generally a good amount of calories for a woman to lose weight, provided she's also exercising every day. All right? If you did zero exercise and a woman ate 1,500 calories a day, you might not really lose any weight. But there's loads of calculators on there to find out exactly for your height, for your weight, etc., and how much inadvertent exercise you do, like maybe you walk to work, or maybe your work involves physical activity, so maybe you can have a little bit more calories and lose weight. But generally speaking, I think like 1 to 1,500 calories a day for a woman, you will lose weight, and about 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day for a man, and you will lose weight. If you're doing tons of exercise and you're really into a sport or bodybuilding and stuff, well, as a man, you could probably even eat close to 3,000 calories and put on muscle and still lose weight. All right, if you're really into some kind of sport. So there's you go. So the point being, back to the Subway here. If this really is about 600 calories per foot long, that means 2 of these halves making a whole foot long, 600 calories. That means if you ate 2, that's 1,200 calories. If you ate 3 foot longs, so 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch, and 1 for tea, that's about 1,800 calories. And if you really want to account for a little bit extra calories, if you put in extra mayonnaise or extra avocado or cheese or something extra in there, maybe that would add up a few more extra calories. But maybe a really good guideline from whether you're a man or a woman. See, now it's getting easier. 2 foot long Subways. All right, so that's a good amount of calories for a man or a woman. That's 1,200 calories thereabouts, depending on which Subway you get. But it doesn't really matter because you're within the correct range. And then as a snack at home, maybe have a small handful of nuts or some fruit, right? Because you're not getting any fruit from Subway. I don't think that's an option at all. All right, so there you go. 2 foot longs, whether you're a man or a woman, and snack on a piece of fruit, which generally speaking, to make life simple, is about 100 calories. Whether it's an apple is a little bit less, a banana might be a little bit more if it's a bit bigger, but who cares? Look, 1,200, you got 300 calories left if you're a woman, say, to get up to 1,500. Well, that's 3 pieces of fruit, or maybe 2 pieces of fruit and a small handful of nuts, or 1 piece of fruit and a big handful of nuts. There you go. How simple and easy is that, mate? Subway. Give me my check. All right. Hey, if you want more personalized advice, all right, hopefully you got my number. Mates rates as always. Sweet dreams.